we send our condolences to David Harrison family and friends. Our deeply thought for his family and friends as well. It was shocking news. He passed away this morning. Yeah.
Such a lovely, sweet, gentle man. Was privileged to get to know him through the shows and then for the Christmas party in December. So a great loss for the Newcastle family.
Yeah. I only got to meet David really in the last 6 months when I've been working with doing the collections with the food bank. He always had a kind word to say when we're meeting outside St James's, and nothing was a bother to him. He was always happy to share everything with you. Such a kind bloke, and like I say, he's commented on a few of my tweets and vice versa, and he doesn't take anything to heart. He put his points across, and he was happy to share and understand your own feelings about the points that you were making. Never a crossword. A lovely man. He'll be sadly missed, but on all the home games when we're collecting, we'll be thinking of Dave. And we'll, lovely man, and condolences to his family and all his friends.
Well said.
You're on mute, وليد.
I met David 2 months ago or 3 months when I was in Newcastle, and actually I know him since 2 years. He was always contribute to my chatting and ask me a question about takeover and stuff. Rest in peace, David.
Yeah.
All right, lads. What we have for Transferency Day 4?
So my link, new link, is an alternative to Botman, which Dave will talk about Botman, but apparently we're looking at Brazilian center back Diego Carlos from Sevilla. He's 28 years old, left-footed center back with a reported £30 million price tag. He's one of the most physically imposing center backs in European football. He's average height, 6'1", but he makes up for it with acute positional instincts, athleticism, and aggression. And he's made up 116 appearances with Sevilla since 2019.
دييغو كارلوس من اشبيليا عمره 28 سنة. There is a bid, official bid, or just speculation? Talks.
Media reports, yeah.
حديث وتقارير انه ممكن ينتقل الى ب 30 مليون باوند. طبعا يعني دفاع ومدافع ايسر. He play as a left back or just center back?
He's a left-footed center back.
اوكي هو يلعب قلب دفاع ايسر. يعني مدافع قوي ويعني من اللاعبين اللي ممكن تقدر يتكلم انه ممكن يجي نيوكاسل. هذا دييغو كارلوس. Anything on Botman?
Dave.
The only thing on Botman, that's the wrong one. The only thing on Botman was what we read this morning what we read this afternoon on this was that AC Milan have rejected any bids and and no, he wants to go to. There's a saying he wants to go to AC Milan. And what they're saying is they're quite clearly now in the driving seat. Whether that's true or not,
I think they're skint.
They are, but they seem to be trying. This suggests they're trying to come to some sort of deal where they'll get him for only a few million with appearances. So, but they want to try and get him on loan with a definite
buying option.
Yeah, when the loan's finished, and then there'll be add-ons with that as well. My understanding is that Lille are skint, They need to unload players. They need money. They're not going to get it from Milan, So again, I think this could, Calcio Mercato are probably just winding people up. I think it's again a bit clickbait, but I would think there's going to be a lot more people interested now because they're seeing the players that we're going for, and we seem to have got a lot of interest going. And of course, a lot of other teams are now suggesting they might come in for players left, right, and centre. But that story was quite upsetting this morning when I read that.
That's the Italian site football market.
Yeah.
Calcio Mercato.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so يعني خبر يعني مجرد من الأخبار، هذا ما نحس إنه ذكي الدقة، بس إحنا نبغى نذكره علشان نبين إنه ترى هذا خبر مو صحيح. إنه يعني يقول لك هو رفض نيوكاسل ويبغى ميلان. طبعا ميلان يعني في نهاية الأمر ليه يبغى مبلغ كبير، وميلان يعني ما نعتقد إنه قادر على دفع المبلغ، لكن ممكن على كلامهم إنه ممكن في خيار إعارة مع بند الشراء، لكن ما أعتقد إنه لاعب يعني بقيمة بوتمان يروح بطريقة الخيار مع خيار الشراء إعارة، ما أعتقد. Okay, I know we are يعني please give me something different than Trippier coming to Newcastle in a few hours, because we already know that. So
yeah, I think we don't have a lot of sort of confirmed confirmed linkages today besides that guy.
Yeah, I think it is with Chris with Trippier today. The suggestion seems to be that we'll get. I think it might have been one of the clips I've sent you, وليد, would suggest that we'll get Trippier for 12 yes. 15 million.
Yeah, which is a lot less than we thought. Thought, although Ben Jacobs is somehow saying that even though the fee looks like it's 15 million, it's loaded with incentives that would push the total deal closer to 30 million. But who knows?
Yeah. But even though, I mean, if you can get them for 12 to 15 million, but you've now got Spurs. You've now got Spurs wanting to join in with the race as well. But
do you think are we gonna hear the confirm of the deal in this 2 days before the weekend?
Before the weekend.
Yeah.
طبعا نتوقع ان شاء الله كيرن تريبير قبل نهاية الاسبوع ان شاء الله انه نسمع خبر تأكيد. طبعا يعني الحين كثر الاحاديث انه راح كم ياخذ في الشهر وكم ياخذ في السنة، يعني انا كثير مالي في هالكلام. عموما الصفقة عرفنا الرينج حقها. But sometimes I read 25 million, now 12. It's a bit confusing. So
yeah, it's kind of like we don't really know how much Joe Linton was bought for. There's agent fees. There's all these sort of things built in. I think وليد will know. He hasn't been in training. We will say Trippier hasn't been in training. Atletico has a cup match on Thursday, which doesn't look like
he will play there.
Trippier will be anywhere near that.
في مباراة قريبة الأتلتيكو ما نعتقد إنه راح يلعب فيها، ما راح يكون في التشكيلة الرئيسية، وهذه راح توضح لنا أشياء كثير طبعا إذا ما كان في التشكيلة. Okay. I would like to ask you, I read this today, and if you can please, Chris or Dave, if you this is a new, for me, this is a new condition in contracts. Okay, let's read it. Ferran Torres deal just been told an interesting new detail. Manchester City have included the right of first refusal in the agreement with Barcelona. Man City will have the chance to match potential future bids for Ferran. Final decision always to the player.
Yeah.
So simplify this for me. What's this mean exactly?
Wait, it just means if at any time Barcelona decide to sell, then the first team they've got to contact is Manchester City.
Okay.
We're going to sell him, and then they will have
or they have an offer, from some other club, they have to. From my understanding, they have to let Man City know, and then allow Man City to put a better offer in.
Yeah, or to match that, and it'll then come down to the player on which club he decides to.
Okay. So I make sure I am understanding this. Let's say another club pay 100, and City pay 90. So who's go first? To the one with 90, Manchester City, or the one who pay 100?
No,
it's still up to the player, but they have to give Man City a chance to sign him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So Newcastle have had deals like that in the past as well. We've had sell-on clauses.
Yeah.
So we can tell that these sometimes these difficult, a lot of condition of the contract. This is what delays, I think, the deals.
Well, yeah, there's always going to be little. There's always going to be like little niggly things within a deal, within a contract, that'll have to be talked through. And if you think on that, a few years ago, Ronaldo had a clause in his contract with Real Madrid that he would get a percentage of all shirt sales. Same thing goes for Messi. So they had those little sort of things in. So when they moved on to Paris Saint-Germain and to Man United, they wanted those same deals included in their contracts, because that's where they make their money from the shirt sales and everything that they get with their name on. So little things like that. But I can't see anybody like that we're going to be buying is going to have those sort of details in their contract. Certainly not a Trippier or a Botman. They're not going to have contracts where they get a percentage of the shirt sales. So we won't have to deal with that. But there might be little niggly things.
احنا طبعا نتكلم على انه يعني يمكن يأخر الصفقات. الشروط احنا لسه شفنا شرط انه كيران تيرس اللي راح من مانشستر سيتي الى برشلونة، في شرط انه الاولويه لمانشستر سيتي اذا اللاعب يبغى يروح يغادر نادي ثاني، شرط انه يصير في معادله للقيمه، لكن تكون الكلمه الاخيره طبعا للاعب، لكن برضو النادي اللي يتم التفاوض معه بالاولويه برضو يكون مانشستر سيتي. اوكي.
There's more talk and sort of warnings about would Newcastle, obviously he's talented, but would Newcastle really want to take on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang? And there's a funny quote by a former Liverpool star, Stan Collymore, where he says, he's talking about Aubameyang, and he says he'll park his big gold Lamborghini in the big market, and is one of the last characters you'd want in the trenches when the chips were down. I could just.
So you expect me to understand that, huh?
I would think that a big gold Lamborghini in the big market would be a big hit. with all the other gold with all the other gold outfits that
we've got a lot of people who drive around in Lamborghinis in Newcastle. We've even got our own Ferrari dealership in Newcastle. So I'll have you know, we're not all flat cap and poor men up here.
Let's add this to our show tomorrow, which is a top 10 reason for players to choose Newcastle
over London.
In the space of what, 200-300 yards, we've got Aston Martin garage, got Bentley, and we've got Ferrari. We've got money up here, we have got places to spend our money. So if anybody with money from Saudi Arabia wants to come to Newcastle, we've got the sports cars.
That's what I'm saying. I was saying that because for our Leeds audience, a gold Lamborghini is
Okay.
Gold
let's save this for tomorrow. طبعا لسه كريس كتب كذا تعليق من احدى الحسابات عن اوباميانغ، صراحه انا ما فهمته فلا تحرجوني بالترجمه. طيب Okay, we'll go to the fans question, but let's. I think you sent me this earlier, Dave. I didn't catch much, but what you can tell us about
Isaac Hayden has obviously been speaking on
podcast
with broadcasts and stuff like that. And he's been saying that just because Newcastle are going to be making all these signings doesn't mean that the players who are currently there will be pushed out. What he seems to what he was saying was, look, you've got players who might be on 2-3 year contracts up here, who weren't expecting to be moved out. They've got family, they've got kids who are at school. Do they really expect to be told all of a sudden that when we make these signings that they're going to be pushed out the door and they're going to be sold off to some other team? Then he's going to realize, yes, that is going to happen. We are a football club. We do have a lot of responsibility to our current players, but that doesn't mean, that if we need to move players on, that people like them are not going to be make weights. There will be make weights because we need to get that sort of money out of the wage bill.
Dave, players allowed to do this in public. We just saw the Romelu Lukaku things going with Tuchel, and now, this is. Do you think this is? The club is okay with this, or you think this to the fans, or we did expect that will be pushed out, but of course there are many ways. I think regarding management, many ways to solve these things, but why in the public?
I think he's just making a run for his own back here because Newcastle
keep hearing that stuff.
Yeah, Newcastle fans have got a loyalty to the club and they've got a loyalty to our players. But at the same time, if you're signing marquee players like Trippier, then you can't be keeping, other players on your books.
But how would they solve this?
They won't. Those players, if we decide that those players have to leave, or there's bids come in for them, then people like Isaac Hayden have got to realise that, yes, while they have kids and they've got a family to look after within the region and stuff like that, then the football club comes first.
Yeah, but I think looked like to Phil Jones, I think, from Manchester United. He spent more than 2 years, didn't play, but his contract is going on. So I think there is something like this,
Yeah. So
he will be off the book, as you said, but he will continue until up to the player. He will go to another club or continue his deal.
But you think with if Dwight Gale could decide to just sit on his contract, and he's got a contract for 6 years. He could just say, I'm not going. I'm going to stay here. I'll sit on the bench. I'll stay in the reserves. You've got to pay me my wages. That doesn't help us at all. So you've got to be prepared to move those players on.
Yeah, and of course, even these players, if they didn't play, they can play in some games. They can, in the practice, you need this, players. There will be used for them. So no worry about this.
Yeah.
But for me, it was surprise. Any comments, Chris, on this story?
He says a couple of interesting things. He also says that some of the players that Newcastle are linked to make him laugh, which I thought was kind of a funny admission. Maybe sort of a wry humor that maybe we'll get one of those two players that he laughing at the prospect of, and I think he has a pretty good attitude in terms of where he says that if they want to bring in somebody that's better than me and move on, so be it. Like that. He sort of in a way says that whatever moves the club forward, he supports, and even if it doesn't include him in the plans, he's happy for the fans that get to see Newcastle move forward.
He said that?
classy. I mean, if you sort of read in between the lines of what he's saying,
Okay.
he says, you know, if they want to bring in players that sort of push him out.
Yeah, and I think this is one of the reason the club was suffering, or the players were suffering last 3 months or since the takeover. The players, they were thinking they will be replaced. This is affect his performance, I believe.
And if I want to say one thing about Isaac Hayden. For a while, you know, a couple years ago, there was talk that he wasn't happy up in the north. I guess his girlfriend and his young kid were down in the south, and was questioned, like, you know, he's looking for a move out. And he was a faithful servant to the club. And if this is the end of Isaac Hayden's tenure with the club, he's served the club well. You know, been a solid midfielder in the middle there, and also had been called on to play center back. One of those guys that was sort of played out of position and performed all right. So if this is the last we see of Isaac Hayden, fair play. He's been a good Magpie.
For me, I will never forget Hayden, because first goal I see for Newcastle in a game was from Isaac Hayden.
Yeah.
All right. Last news with us before going to the comments and the question. Who's Soko Fofana?
Yeah, we were talking about him a couple of months ago, about before Christmas, weren't we? Because it came through, and I said, "Who's Seko Fofana?" Because I'd never heard of him before. But it seems as though Liam's website now have got hold of that same story. So whether he comes through or not, I don't know. Again, it's just one of those. I don't know if it's clickbait, and I'm surprised that Liam's news outlet coming up with that sort of story, because like I say, I've never heard of him.
But if you said here, he said availability, so it's kind of like he's using the word very right, you know, availability. He doesn't say Newcastle consider the player or. But
I saw one line that they said that he was compared, likened to Yaya Touré earlier in his career. So that's a really good comparison. You'd like to be compared to
he's also Ivorian, isn't he? So, you know, and the Ivory Coast are expected to do well in the African nations. So he may not be back until beginning of March. You know, so he's not somebody we can take a chance on, I don't think.
I have some other names from Liam and Jordan. Sounds like so they go through obviously Trippier, Aubameyang, Ben Brereton Diaz, but then they also mention Julian Alvarez from River Plate. In Argentina. It sounds like he's been linked to Man United, so we might be competing against Man United, who are also skint, I think. So it's a question of these sort of top six teams. We may be able to go against them because, you know, as you remember, Kieran Trippier was sort of eyeing going to Man United last summer, and he's from there, so it sort of would have been his dream move. Dominic Solanki from Bournemouth, we've talked about him, a current championship player who's playing under Howe, I think. I think that's it from Liam and Jordan.
Yeah.
So yesterday we took. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say there's another one being named today from sources in Liverpool that suggest that Newcastle have joined the race for Luis Diaz, who is a Colombian, and he's been likened to Ronaldo. He's a player that Liverpool are supposedly interested in, but we've joined the race for him. I've never heard of that story before. It's just something that's just popped up. More information, you can get more information off News Now, Newcastle. You can go on there, and like I said, it talks about him as a player that Liverpool are very interested in. So he's a young player, and he plays in South America. But you know, I think it's a case of it's another one of these players that You know, that's just adding to the list of players that were supposedly going to buy. You know, the number of players we're supposed to be going to buy, we could field 2 teams, possibly 3 teams. You know, we could have 3 teams in the Premiership with the number of players we've been linked with.
Yesterday we talked about that there is 3 medical booked for checkup booked, and we know it's one of current review. So who's the closest to be the second and third? You think? I saw this today. I like the picture really, but who's do you think the second and 3 so far? Botman, do you think we still on Botman as well? Also,
I think it's possible we can bring in Gini Wijnaldum on a loan.
Loan, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Wijnaldum might be one of them, and I think Ramsey might be the other.
Yeah.
I think Ramsey's probably negotiating his own move. So and if he's something that we're interested in, it wouldn't surprise me if he's one of them.
We'd have to get Juve to pay his wages. Supposedly he's on 300,000.
Yeah, way. I don't think he would get anywhere near that here.
Yeah, split
not for his age, and
split
for
his. We'll give you 180, and he can get and Juve will pay the other 180. although there's some talk that he's not really on 360,000, and it's more like 200 or something like that. But that's still too much for a guy who doesn't play.
You on mute, وليد?
You think both of Wijnaldum and Ramsey, both of them, or one of them?
Well, if you believe that there's three medicals booked, it's sort of we don't see anyone as close as Trippier. But supposedly Trippier is already on Tyneside.
Dusted, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And regarding
Botman, although that story came out today, I still think Botman is interested in the project.
Yeah.
You know, he's interested in the project. He's not just interested in the move, although it's saying that he doesn't want to be involved in a relegation battle, but he does believe that the project that has been offered to, been shown to him by the owners is something that he's very interested in. You know, he sees it long term. So
yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go to the comments, but let me just do something here.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a slight edit so we get Dave's name.
Yeah. Just it's.
I don't think it's hard. I don't think it's bad that that وليد managed to put his name up.
No,
it's different language. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's the same. You did the same وليد.
Double R, 1 S.
Yes.
Double R. Okay, sorry.
Double R, 1 S.
Okay. We have here. Okay. Who want to answer this? وش صار على ديمبيلي؟
Huh?
What happened to Dembele?
Why are your Saudi fans so keen on Dembele? Because he's a Barcelona big wage player. I just don't think it's gonna. It's not this window. It's not gonna happen.
أحمد السعد كريس يقول لك وليش يعني مركزين أنتوا في السعوديين كلهم على ديمبيلي. I will answer I think this for you, Chris, on behalf of Ahmed. And hopefully Ahmed will allow me to. I think because I think the majority, big majority of the fans in Saudi Arabia, Barcelona, Real last 10 years. So I think this is one of the reasons.
But he's hardly played. I mean, if you're a Barcelona fan, you've hardly seen him. He hasn't really played in like.
Well, as I remember Dembele very well, in his introduction in Barcelona, he couldn't dribble. This is what my memory. Remember that?
No tiki taka.
No. Remember when he dribbling the ball in his introduction to the fans?
honestly, if he walked by me on the street, I wouldn't recognize him.
See, okay.
No.
No, he did some dribbling in front of the fans, and it was it was a shame.
Much like Joe Linton used to when he first came, kept tripping over the ball.
Oh, okay.
kept falling over the ball, but he's not like that now. That's
Alright.
that funny enough. This morning when I was watching the transfer show this morning on Sky Sports, and the guys on there were full of the praise about Eddie Howe and how he manages to get the best out of players, and are they bringing in players like Ramsey and Aubameyang. He would get the best out of them. He would get more out of them. Even though they're established players, he can probably make them better. And that's what they were saying that he did with Joe Linton, and how Joe Linton is now, been man of the match in the past 3 or 4 games. Because Eddie Howe he's been Eddie Howe. He hasn't been Steve Bruce, he's been Eddie Howe. That confused you.
Okay. وش آخر أخبار الرعاة؟ يعني what's the latest with the sponsors?
That's very surprising. We haven't heard anything. I think it's just they've been focusing on January is all about transfers, ins and outs.
ما راح نسمع إلى الآن، ما في شيء. الناس كلها وكل المصادر تركز على سوق الانتقالات، لكن أول ما نعرف إن شاء الله شيء راح نقول any new transfers. Bravo.
One more thing. They may have submitted bids to the Premier League, as soon as the commercial deals were allowed, and maybe the Premier League is just sitting on the deals during the transfer window so that they can't make any big announcements until February. Just a theory.
نظرية عند كريس انه ممكن يكون تم العمل في الاوراق وهذه الامور، لكن ما راح نسمع تاكيدات من البريمير ليج. قد يكون في فبراير. محمد برافو our friend, he said any new transfers. This is what we all talking every day.
That half an hour. What's the last half an hour, mate?
But he wants like updates. We're trying to match things together. I don't like Trippier don't taking a long time to decide. We should try to find a new one in case he doesn't want to come here.
The report was that he decided he wanted to come in November, and so it's not. He clearly wanted to come here. It's just a question of getting the deal done, sorting out the agent fee, everything. I think the basics are done. We've agreed with him on his player wages. The question of sorting out the transfer fee and the agent fee, and he's going to be on Tyneside.
Well, if he left to another club, I will never believe the media at all again.
Well, that happened once with one Newcastle potential signing. I forget. They talked about it the other day on Three Amigos, I think. But anyway,
okay. I think Trippier's nailed on. We've just got to be patient.
Yeah,
I know we've had 14, 15 years of absolute waiting till the last minute. I think now, because we've got people with money, we're expecting too much to happen at the beginning. Let's not forget we're only 4 days into the new transfer window. We're not going to wait until the last minute to say sorry, we couldn't get anybody across the line. We tried, but we couldn't get anybody across the line. It's going to happen within this week, next week, the week after. So let's just be patient and let's see who they bring in. As long as they bring in players in.
Still today is their first day, so
yeah, exactly.
I will be worried after the day 10 if we have nothing. But no. What do you think of Sardar Amazon? I don't know. Who's he?
The Iranian Messi. I only learned about him from our friend Daz. And there's been some links to him, but I don't think he's a January signing.
Exactly.
It's all a bit too cute in terms of Saudi team. Let's bring in an Iranian playing in Russia. But this doesn't really kind of fit.
The thing is,
sorry.
No, sorry. Go on. Sorry.
No, I'd rather bring in some players from Al Hilal. You know, bring some players in from there.
That's will be brilliant. But as we said, we didn't think it's at the beginning it's going to be difficult for both sides. So as we see, first signing from England, the official or the first right by choice for Southgate. So this is big name. So suddenly, I don't think we suddenly after that will bring Miss Iranian Messi. So yeah. I did a football manager save with Newcastle and win the league in 2028. Okay, we'll chat about this after 7 years.
Time for Vision 2030.
Yeah. Carroll moved up from West Ham to be moved back to Reading. Okay.
Didn't Andy Carroll sign for Reading? Has he signed for Reading?
Yeah, but maybe he said
a couple of weeks ago.
I didn't know that.
I didn't understand the comment. He's not West Ham.
Is he start from West Ham? No. So I know he's Reading.
2 months. He's on a contract. Like I think the contract might have been ending like 2-month contract from November to January in Reading. I think the contract's ending now.
Did you see his great save for Reading? Great save.
Yes.
It was amazing. He didn't do this. He did it similar in Newcastle. Okay, Faisal says لو مكان الإدارة الحين ما أجيب غير إعارات الصفقات في الصيف, which means if I am in management shoes, I will just bring loans only. But I didn't think they can take only 2 loans, as I understand.
I sent you that article from the always reliable Luke Edwards, who's now saying that previously saying that he thought that the Newcastle transfer budget was around 50 million. Now he's saying, as I predicted on your shows like 2 weeks ago, that it would be closer to 100. And people are saying, well, you said, you're changing your story, Luke Edwards. And he's like, well, that's what my sources told me then. And things have obviously changed with our need of strikers, with striker's injury. So we need to spend more than closer to 100 million rather than 50 million was kind of too conservative in terms of all the players.
But we can take 2 loan, right? Not more.
4.
Okay, 4 إعارات نقدر نجيب.
2 from the English Premier League.
Yes.
And two from
the rest of the world.
From the rest of the world. So they can take 4, but you can only take 2 from the Premier League. So if you're looking at Aubameyang and Dele Alli or Aubameyang and whoever from the Premier League, but you can take 2 more from around the world.
نقدر نجيب إعارتين من إنجلترا من الداخل وإعارتين من باقي العالم. I would happily to take Max Aarons over Kieran Trippier.
I would take Max Aarons as well.
Max Aarons, who's Max Aarons?
He plays for Norwich.
He's the brother of our former Newcastle player Rolando Aarons.
Yeah. He's good. He's a good player. And like when we signed, was it not Murphy Lewis? Was it Lewis or Murphy? Was it Murphy? I think we signed the wrong brother. And same with Max Aarons. I think we signed Rolando Aarons and Max Aarons. I think we signed the wrong one.
Yeah, where is Murphy's brother now? He was at Norwich. No, he's not on Norwich.
No, he's not. He's at, I don't know where he is now.
Oh, I think he's at Fulham.
Fulham, is it? Yeah.
Maybe,
yeah. So yes, we've got a habit of signing the wrong brother.
A relegation battle is an act of trying to win games. Stephen Nickton. Relegation battles an act. Right? Do you think we can go to win a streak?
Yes.
Streak
we
after
have,
next week?
It's not a question of can we have to.
Who's streak? Win streak. Okay.
Yeah.
No, take off all your clothes and streak.
Take off all your clothes.
I thought streak is a player name.
No.
Okay.
I think we've got it. We'll beat Watford.
Watford, that's
Leeds.
Watford just signed today. I just saw that Kamara from I forget, from France, I think. Left back. So that's I think to replace Danny Rose. I believe.
Doesn't take much to replace Danny Rose, man.
Yeah, you and I can replace Danny Rose.
اوكي اويل اي ايش افضل لاعب تتوقع يجي قريب؟ اوكي who's the best player?
I have breaking
Go.
Keith Downey. Keith Downey says United Newcastle have agreed a fee with Atletico Madrid for Kieran Trippier. The deal is around 12 million plus add-ons. The England international is set to travel to Tyneside for his medical and become the first signing of the Saudi-backed regime.
اوكي
Keith Downey reports it.
You hear it first on our وليد show.
Okay, that's brilliant.
If I can, I'll get down to the training ground tomorrow to see if I can catch him at the training ground.
It says his geotag for the tweet is from Biker. I don't think he isn't that
Biker.
Yeah, I saw a picture, but it's modified picture today, and his with that sandwich place. I think regress.
Yeah, I thought Biker was the dodgy. No,
Biker is quite a rough area.
Yeah,
I was down there today with my dad.
Me too. I went there.
You did?
Yeah, with Junior Turner, and it's long story.
You went to Heaton, didn't you?
I don't know.
Heaton. You went down
no.
Heaton.
I don't think Keith Downey lives in Biker. I don't know
no, he doesn't.
But now it's official announcement, right?
Yeah, I'm not watching Sky. I have loaded on with Kieran on mute, but yeah.
So it's okay. All right.
I can go try.
Okay.
Let me look at Sky Sports. Yeah, it must be on Sky Sports.
I'm going to go to Sky Sports now.
We should probably wrap up. Let's see what it says. 4:39.
Okay. Just excuse me for a minute. I'll come back. Stay there. Stay in the show. Don't leave.
Okay. Okay. This is our chance to take over the show, Dave.
Yeah, we'll take the show again. Yeah.
That's such good news about Trippier. I mean, I know we all thought it was going to happen, but we've been thinking it was going to happen since the clock turned to midnight on the new year. We thought that Trippier would be announced, straight away, because we thought we'd heard, like I said, report before that he had expressed his interest as far back in November. So it was just kind of a formality to get him up here, medical and everything. So yeah. Great news for and again, like we talked about yesterday, he's going to be like a Pied Piper type statement signing that people will see. Okay, Trippier believes in that plan. Maybe we'll get some other England internationals to come up and play, and then you'll know that that Gareth Southgate will be watching a lot of Newcastle matches over the next.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. Hey.
So, here Johnny says وليد نزلت أخبار عن تريبير أمس. Yeah, that's Chris' job. He's doing this now. What's about Chris? Any news?
I don't have any more news. I have Sky on. I'm sure they've already had Keith. I'm sure they had before they did the tweet. They had Keith doing the. Hopefully, if he's not in Biker, I don't think maybe he's in Biker and not standing outside St. James Park.
Like I say, on the transfer center at Sky Sports, it's got that on at 6 minutes past 8. That's when it was announced. 6 minutes past 8. So I would think if that's come from Keith, Keith Downey, then I think we can fight. We can take that as read.
Take it to the bank. Yeah. We were just waiting for the yellow.
The banner.
Yellow banner, yeah. Thanks for
the yellow banner. Breaking news. You can put that on. I should put that on the bottom there. I know.
I will lead. They do that on Loaded. You should get that banner, the breaking news one.
Breaking news. Yeah.
I would, but I already choose what I will do today, and
yes,
for me,
yeah.
Karen Tripper, I know that he will come, so it's nothing really, but it's we're done with this, so now we're looking for next one. Bravo says, do you think Newcastle will go to after Mbappe this transfer window? Can we turn off Sky now or no?
Sorry, what was that?
Okay. Do you think Newcastle?
Mbappe, Howie, get real, man. Get real. There's no way we're going to be going for Mbappe.
No.
No way.
Only on Griezmann's football manager.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's not beyond the realms that it might happen somewhere in the summer. Once we've actually secured our Premiership survival, there's not beyond the realms that we might go for Mbappe or.
I'd rather have Haaland.
Yeah.
His father played in Leeds, and so we can convince him. We can convince him that Newcastle is closer to London than Leeds.
Yeah.
Again.
Exactly.
But he might know already, having grown up here.
I tell you what, it's a hell of a lot easier to get from Newcastle to London than it is from Leeds to get to London.
Yeah.
Tell you.
Yeah.
Also saw a lot of news Newcastle going to Calvin Phillips, and I saw to Manchester City as well.
If we get to Trippier in, we can go after more England internationals like Calvin Phillips, because I think
he's Phillips is injured until March, though, isn't it?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's injured till March.
But I also read something about City interesting.
Yeah, I think there's all these sort of stories are coming up because anybody that we're interested in seems to set everybody else off, and they follow our lead. So they're saying the fact that we're going for Phillips or we're going for Trippier or we're going for Mbappe. They'll think, if Newcastle's going for him, we're going for him as well. It always happens.
Well, he will come to Saudi Arabia, I believe. If we're still playing with Paris Saint-Germain, I don't know about COVID situation, what will happen. But as we agreed before that, Paris Saint-Germain will come.
We have a troll in the comments. Give it a Farhad.
That's okay. I will make sure to write before I block him. Faisal says Joe Linton. You mean Joe Linton? Joe Linton has
latest. Ramsey rejects Burnley.
He's going to the tune.
Yeah, he wants to play for a more ambitious team. Newcastle.
Yeah, but who said that, Dave? Who said that?
What?
About Burnley. Who Burnley make an offer for Ramsey?
Yeah, Sky. It's Sky Italia.
Okay, Burnley couldn't renew Tervaski contract. So how they can bring?
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're skint.
Yeah, but they're skint. But don't forget, Ramsey's on a free.
Oh.
The only thing that would come with Ramsey is any signing on fees and wages, and they can negotiate his wages. But he's rejected them. He said he wants to play for somebody bigger than Burnley.
Okay.
So that could be us.
So Joe Linton, can he play striker instead of Wilson, injured?
No. He's a midfield enforcer. I forget. He's been compared to some sort of classic from Premier League.
But by mistake, he played with Steve Bruce. By mistake, once I think. Sometimes.
Let's not talk about.
Okay. Okay, Johnny, just tell us about Trippier.
Yeah.
Look at words again. Sport journalist with highest credential as one would expect from writer of fiction.
Well, he was right about Trippier, so he was on Trippier too. So.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is the guy who said this is the guy that said the takeover wouldn't happen. And
he said it wasn't happening. It wasn't happening in September, and then he was like one of the first guys to say, "Look, it's back on. It's happening."
Yeah, exactly.
October. So he.
Yes. Yeah. This one says, "Please, I want to borrow some money."
Talk to Yasser Al-Rumayyan. He's the money man.
Okay, yes, let's go. Trippier, Alan Jones. I would love to see Sardar Amazon in the black and white stripes. Look like a good.
This is the
Arabian Messi.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's what you're talking about. Kenny Ronson. I am a Baker lad, so go check if Trippier there or not.
No, not Trippier.
Keith Downey. I mean Keith Downey. Yeah.
I don't know if Keith was there.
Can't see anything on Sky because you missed it, I think, Kenny.
Yeah, there was look at the bottom of the screen. It's not on right now, but it was on the yellow breaking news.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that say?
This says urgent breaking Trippier Newcastle player.
Yeah, that's good. That.
Yeah,
see,
this is.
See we need to teach Dave Arabic.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not Newcastle. This means Newcastle. Newcastle. It's mean like kids belong to Newcastle.
Yeah.
I've got no chance of reading that. I'm just a thick Geordie.
So, guys,
I might be a tax inspector, but I'm not. I'm not good at foreign languages, proper Italian.
I think this might be another troll. I don't want.
Do you guys any know player in Saudi Arabia?
On the banner now, yeah.
There is only one United.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is don't put
it's okay.
He's
okay. Okay. Why they are active today? The trolls. They are angry. We got Terence
Trippier. Yes. all the guys, the top six, didn't believe that Trippier would come to Newcastle.
Yeah, and Chelsea, Tottenham as well. Yeah.
It's a statement. It's a statement.
Sign me
definitely.
Kieran McGuire has his T-shirt on that says "Hail Satan."
Sky Sports are also saying Tuan Zebi's now going to Napoli. So he was a player we were interested in the summer, and he went to Aston Villa. But looks like he's now heading towards. He's now going to Napoli.
Stephen Keith Downey reported a few weeks ago that for the first time in years, expect to be busy reporting in comics.
Get in.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's good news.
There's only one United and we're going to win the league. Newcastle.
Oh, he's looking good. Wait, do we? Is he wear number 2? Do we have a current guy who wears 2? I can't even think of the number. Squad numbers.
Number 2. No, I don't think there is a number 2. Is there?
I think it's 3.
No, 3. Yeah, it's 3. 3 being Dominic.
Yeah, that's the lowest number.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So who will go down?
I think I said that before. Watford. Norwich,
yeah,
and Burnley.
Yeah,
I think Watford, Norwich, and Burnley. But
yeah,
like I said, I said to you 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I can't remember. Everton were not out of this at all. Everton are really, really struggling, and I think
I know.
And then one of their next games is Norwich. Now, if Norwich managed to get a result against Everton, I think Rafa Benitez might get sacked.
Yeah, he might have gotten might have gotten sacked if we kept our original schedule and we'd beaten them.
Yeah.
End of.
They're talking about Wayne Rooney going there now. They're talking about Rooney going to Everton now.
Wasn't Rooney linked to he? At some point, they're like. He was linked to the Newcastle job. He's linked to everything now.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess he did start at Everton. So yeah.
Yeah.
Is he? I don't know the neighborhood that he grew up in. Did he grow up an Everton fan?
Yeah, he's a blue. He's always been a blue.
Yeah. All right, وليد. I think
Yeah, I think that's all what we have
And then
today.
yes, again, this show is dedicated to Dave Harrison.
Yes.
Friend of-
Our again, our condolences to his family and friends. Thank you, lads, for the lovely show, and see you tomorrow on day 5. And let's see day 5 what brings. Good night.
Good night, lads.